We are live.
We are live.
Yep.
All right, is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Jeff, any need to do our, go ahead.
Well,
Just for good
real quick, there is a copy of the current executive order on the table. There's hand sanitizer, there are gloves, restroom if you need to wash your hands or use the facility. It's out in the hallway. Welcome.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled mayor and council meeting for Monday, April 12th, 2021. Please join us in a moment of silence, standing, and then we'll transition into the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, agenda item number 1A is the approval of our regular session minutes from March 22nd, 2021.
Motion to approve, March 22nd.
I have a motion by Councilmember Nur.
Second.
I have a second by Councilmember Orris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Let the record reflect that the regular session meetings for March 22nd, 2021 passed unanimously with 4 council members present and Councilmember Purnell absent. Agenda item number 1B, the approval of the work session minutes from March 29th, 2021.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Councilmember Orris.
Second.
I have a second by Councilmember Burrell. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the minutes for the work session on March 29th, 2021 passed unanimously, once again with 4 council members present. Agenda item number 2 is the motion to approve motion 2021-07, a request to use Stephen Decatur Park for a motherhood walk on May 8th, 2021, and the representative from the Grace Pregnancy Center is here with us. If you would like to add anything to what's already in the packet.
Hi, how are you? I do have a request to change the date to September. I have 2 dates in mind, either September 11th or September 25th, just so it gives us a little bit more time to plan.
So the request is to change the date from May 8th, 2021 to September 11th or
September 25th.
25th? Okay, I would only say that I don't know if staff had the time to consider the date change.
If I may,
Go ahead.
just to give a little bit of background, the paperwork for this was actually submitted in January, and we had no idea what we would be doing at this point in time. Unfortunately, we weren't able to begin looking at rentals for the parks until the last week of March. So because of the timing constraints, the first April meeting is a little bit later in the month. It was felt that they would not have sufficient time to adequately plan and promote the event. So we did discuss coming forward with the plan as they have it now. The only thing that would change would be a date change. That will not represent a problem for staff at all. We can just shift it. We'll just revisit it later in the summer to confirm that date.
Perfect. And will there be any conflict, Director Wells, with any events or anything taking part on that date or either of those proposed dates?
This is taking place at the park, correct?
Yes.
Stephen did the part.
I do not believe there's any conflict at all.
We have not planned any events for the park, so there wouldn't be, this will be the first one in.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you for bringing that to our attention with the potential date change of either September 11th or the 25th. Is there anything else that we need for?
I just have a question. You indicated you want use of the pavilion, but you really want use of the entire park for the walk, correct?
Mostly just the walkway and then the pavilion. This will be actually our 3rd year doing this event, and not really the park. We did have people that had used the facilities, like the playground themselves, but our event mainly is about the actual pavilion and then the walkway.
The only part of the park that we actually require reservation for is the pavilion.
And I said this privately, but great job on the COVID plan.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, I'd like to move to approve this event with the 11th and the 25th date.
So I have a motion with the amendments for the date change of September 11th and 25th by Councilmember Burrell.
I'll second.
And I have a second by Councilmember Nichols. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, and the motion passes unanimously with approval for the Grace Pregnancy Center to hold their motherhood walk on a date to be announced in September, and we look forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
thorough.
All right, up next is 2B, agenda item number 2B, motion 2021-08, which is a request for the use of town services for a film fest on June 11th, June 12th, and June 13th, and an interactive play on October 16th with the Berlin Heritage Foundation. Who's running point on that?
I'm going to defer to Councilmember Orris.
Okay.
He's on the board. I'm sure he can fill in some of the voice.
Okay, so if there are any questions, we'll present them on the floor.
Wow, okay, so, what's,
I could also assist
Yeah,
you with
what's-
that, Jack.
what's basically presented is for the Sundays on the Lawn. Should I ask this, am I able to comment on this, being on the board and on the council?
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
I don't see any
Just ask.
conflicts.
So this is basically
It's not
a,
a moneymaker.
it is not a moneymaker. A film fest for the Sundays, and the dates entered there. This is the June event, quote-unquote event for the Berlin Heritage Foundation, and the interactive play on the 16th, I will defer to Ivy. I am not too familiar with that, other than it is about the life of Clara
Claire
Barton.
Barton and Ocean Pines Players will
Yes.
present that on the museum grounds. I have to also, let me preface this by saying I really commend Melissa Reed and the folks on the board for adding more of these art-type events at the Taylor House Museum. I am 100% in favor for approval of these events.
Thank you. Any questions from the council or a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the special event?
So I have a motion by Councilmember Nerd to approve the Film Fest and interactive play events for the Heritage Foundation.
A second.
And I have a second by Councilmember Nichols. All in favor say aye. All opposed? All right, a motion 2021-08 passes unanimously with 4 council members voting in favor for the Film Fest and the interactive play for the Berlin Heritage Foundation. Up next is agenda item number 3, resolution 2021-03, resolution approving the town to apply for USDA grant for 2 police vehicles, and the police chief, Arnold Downing, will be running point on that.
Good evening, everyone. Our consultant brought to our attention the possibility of applying for a USDA grant in regards to 2 police vehicles. We started that process in January and were advised that at that time they were not taking applications. Later on in March, we actually got a phone call saying that it is open because they have reserve funds, and that we would have opportunity to be reimbursed 55% of 2 vehicles if we are qualified. They looked at the town's standing and advised us that we were able to apply for those. We got another phone call, said we would only be able to apply for 1 vehicle. We did a little bit of begging and advised us to put in for the 2 vehicles, and we hope to move through this process. We have to go ahead and have it running the papers, the ads themselves. We're going to have a resolution done after 2, am I correct?
What are you asking? I'm sorry.
Asking to, Kelsey, it has to be run twice?
It had to be run once per USDA's guidelines, so. But typically the town runs them twice.
Okay. So I was deferring to her because we were going back and forth, so we had to go ahead and do this once or twice. But if it's only once, we would request that we apply for and move forward. We've already started the process with our consultant, but again, we have to have a commitment from the mayor and council to move forward.
And Town Attorney Gaskell, are we acting on this motion or resolution this evening, or is this the first reading? We are acting, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
okay.
And it is a public hearing.
It is a public
Yes.
hearing?
Yes, per the USDA grant application, Arnold had said that they require it to be run once. It can be acted on the same night it's introduced, and then,
And we are having a public hearing.
yes, now we are going to open the public hearing.
It's been advertised.
Well, hold on, I didn't have the gavel over there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, get the gavel.
Well, I didn't, my apologies. Yeah, we have to bang it, I hear. So, if there's any more comment from the chief, or we'll open the public hearing. And for everybody watching at home, you have the ability to type your comment into Facebook, and we'll read that here. We'll provide a little bit of time for everybody to be able to type those questions in. My apologies for not briefing everyone on that in the beginning. So we'll open the public hearing on Resolution 2021-03, a resolution approving the town to apply for a USDA grant for 2 police vehicles. Do we need to read the resolution?
We should, yes.
Okay. I'll open the public hearing, and then while we're waiting, the town administrator can read the resolution. I don't have much bang to it. Sounds hollow.
Kelsey, do we have copies of this resolution?
It's in the
It's
packet.
in the packet.
Yeah, it's,
It's agenda item number 3.
it has a USDA header
Apologize.
and then the town resolution.
So
And
the
it was
res-
advertised in the paper last week that we would be having a public hearing on the matter tonight.
so the resolution will be read by the town administrator, and we'll accept any public comments via Facebook.
Resolution number 2021-03, a resolution of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Berlin agreeing to apply for financial assistance with the United States Department of Agriculture, rural development to finance the purchase of 2 police vehicles. Be it further resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Town of Berlin authorizes the mayor to sign all documents relating to the USDA rural development loan and/or grant. The applicant point of contact shall be Arnold Downing, Chief of Police.
Thank you. So we'll give a couple minutes for anybody, unless you have, okay, so go ahead, Mayor.
Marie Valong asks, what vehicles are these replacing, or are they additional?
That's a good question, and we'll defer to the Chief of Police on that.
We will advise that they're currently inside of the budget to be fully funded, and they are 2 replacement vehicles.
I think she's asking what vehicles are they replacing?
So who do they belong to? Are they patrol vehicles? Are they administrative vehicles?
One vehicle is mine, and the other one is going to go into the fleet in some way. We don't want to lock ourselves in the same with 2 they are, because we really don't know what's going to happen in the next
The
2
2
months.
vehicles that we're talking about replacing, one is a 2006 and one is a 2007.
Correct.
And as a rule of thumb, the town has typically acquired the Chevy Tahoes, and that is, I believe, the preferred vehicle choice of the police department. Am I correct, Chief?
That is correct. And one clarification, as we speak right now, the authorizing signee is the town administrator. And another statement, the county commissioners have signed, which has to be done by the USDA, a letter of no conflict and more or less support of the action itself.
Thank you.
Chief, does the grant cover the cost of the additional equipment that goes into the police vehicle, or is it strictly the purchase?
Right now, it's 55% up to 50,000, and the vehicle and anything attached on it or in it for the function of operation.
So going back to the FY22 budget, like the chief mentioned, which we'll hear in a little bit, the 2 vehicles are speculated to come in at about $80,000. And if we're fortunate enough to receive the grant for both, you would end up with 2 new police vehicles at about $36,000 as opposed to 80.
But in the event we don't receive the grant, the vehicles are still funded.
They are funded fully within the budget. So, any other questions yet, Mayor?
No.
Okay, well, we'll give it a couple more minutes just in case there's a slow typer like me.
Jack, you want to sing a song or something?
I do not want to say that.
I don't see it.
Thank you for offering that.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
That would be a first.
That it's not showing.
Get some comments.
And
Yeah, go
Councilman-
ahead, just to.
For some reason, it's not showing up on Mary's computer, but there was another question posed by Gina Belong. It's very similar to Marie Belong's. Are these vehicles for replacement or due to new hires? Thank you.
And I believe that the chief has answered that question. The question was, are the vehicles replacements or for new hires? And I believe the answer is that they are to replace older vehicles that have aged out.
We have another, I'm not sure.
This one I have, I did not have that one. This one, again, Marie Belong asks, what happens with the money saved by the grants?
So if there was a savings from the grant, that would offset the obligation that's currently being handled by the general fund, and that would add to the contingency funds, correct me if I'm wrong,
Correct.
which, if unused, would roll into reserve.
So Chief, how many vehicles does the police department have in service currently?
We have 16 patrol, the 14 for each officer, 2 reserve vehicles, and then the military vehicles themselves. We have a Hummer and the 5-ton. So those vehicles don't get used too much. And we have the SWAT van also.
And you have a schedule to replace vehicles every couple of years, or?
We actually have the 5-year, and we would have actually had these vehicles bought 2 years ago, and we would actually, by this point, we would have actually had 2 more vehicles removed.
And typically, how long does a vehicle last?
We have to book at 5 years, and again, mine's a 2007, bought in 2006. So it's a little bit over the 5-year, but we're traditionally getting 7 years out of the vehicle.
Yeah, just a little bit over.
Just a little bit.
Your mask's a little off, chief.
So now, any other comments or questions?
No, and just for clarity's sake, the question from Gina Belong, she had deleted it, I think, when she saw that the other question was basically the same.
That's okay. The other thing I would ask is for future on the public meeting packets, just put public hearing there if you don't mind.
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
was
helpful.
a
It's okay.
oversight.
Well, I looked at it too, so I'm equally as part. So we'll go ahead and close the public hearing if we don't have any further questions from the public.
Nothing.
All right. So the public hearing for resolution 2021-03, approving the town to apply for USDA grant for 2 police vehicles has been closed. Are there any questions from the council or a motion to approve?
If there are no questions, I'd like to move to approve resolution 2021-03.
So I have a motion by Councilmember Burrell to approve resolution 2021-03. Second. Councilmember Orris, I hear. A second from Councilmember Orris. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes unanimously, or the resolution 2021-03 passes unanimously. Agenda item number 4 is a proclamation for Fair Housing Month, and the Deputy Town Administrator, Mary Boland, is going to run point on that.
Fair Housing Month in April is actually a national initiative. This proclamation is something that we do every year. It's kind of a housekeeping item. It's one of the things that we do need to have in place should we decide to apply for CDBG, Community Development Block Grant funding. We have not applied in a number of years. We haven't had an appropriate project, but it's just something, it certainly doesn't hurt to have it in place, so.
Thank you, and I'll read the proclamation. Proclamation 2021-30, April 12th, 2021, a proclamation of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Berlin recognizing Fair Housing Month as April 2021, whereas the Congress of the United States passed the Civil Rights Act of 1968, in which it was declared that the law of the land would guarantee the rights of equal housing opportunity, and whereas the month of April is recognized by the federal government as Fair Housing Month, and realtors, developers, financial institutions, landlords, tenants, and the public at large are reminded that it is illegal to discriminate in housing on the basis of age, race, religion, sex, or national origin, and whereas fair housing groups and the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development have over the years received complaints of alleged illegal housing discrimination, and whereas the state of Maryland, through the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, supports fairness in housing through a variety of programs and working partnerships with the federal government, local governments, and private sector businesses to ensure better living conditions for all Marylanders. And whereas equal housing opportunity is a condition of life in our community that can and should be achieved. Now therefore, it be proclaimed that the Mayor and Council of the Town of Berlin hereby declare the month of April 2021 as Fair Housing Month in the Town of Berlin, and does commend this observance to all of our citizens. Witness my hand and seal today's date, April 2021. Now, with that being said, can you elaborate on what anybody should do if they believe that they have been subject to this? What type of mechanisms do we have on the town website, or partnerships that we can help direct people to?
At the moment, I honestly can't say what we have on the town website. I would have to look. I just can't think what we do have. Obviously, anyone who has any kind of housing complaints within the town can contact the town, and we'll put them in touch with the appropriate resources. Another resource that is readily available to anyone is the phone number 211, which is similar to 411 or 911. It's kind of a general information system for the entire state. We have a number of brochures and pamphlets, physical brochures and pamphlets available in the main office. And of course, they can also contact our planning and code enforcement office with direct specific complaints.
Thank you. All right. So,
So, do you need a motion?
no, it's a proclamation. So, agenda item number 5 is a motion 2021-09, motion approving the PJM risk management policies, procedures, and control provisions, and the town administrator, Jeff Fleet, will run point on that.
This is an annual requirement from PJM. It's a PJM minimum participation criteria annual officer certification form. If you take a look at it, you'll see various paragraphs. The ones that are applicable are the ones that you will see initials by. I will tell you, it's quite interesting every year with this, with PJM, but I don't claim any credit on this, because the fact is, I've got sound advice coming from Tim Lawrence, from Natalie, from Steve Miller, hands down, from Phyllis Kimmel, our energy attorney, as we'll call it, and then if needed, David Gaskell. So this is an annual requirement where you're giving me the authority to do the things that PJM needs on an annual basis.
Thank you. So, if there aren't any questions, we are looking for a motion to approve 2021-09.
Motion to approve.
So I have a motion by Councilmember Orris.
Second.
I have a second by Councilmember Nur. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? All right, and the motion 2021-09, approving the PJM risk management policies, procedures, and control provisions, was passed unanimously with 4 council members present. Agenda item number 6 is the town administrator's report.
Mayor and council, good evening yet again. I don't have an awful lot, but I do want to share on the 26th when we reconvene in here. Unless, as of the mayor in my last conversation, I believe we are going to have the DBF presentation.
Yes, on the 26th for the regular session.
For the regular
because it
session.
ties in hand with the utility fund.
Utility. And that presentation from DBF will be, I've asked Josh to put together what our capacities are across the board. When I say across the board, I'm talking about with our lift stations, with our water towers, with our spray sites, and with the treatment plant, so that you can have a very good understanding of where we're at with what we've got. So that I know that is something that's long overdue, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Next, I got to think myself now. Next week, I will be out of town for a week. I'm looking forward to that. So Mary doesn't know this yet, but have fun.
I knew.
But no, seriously, I'm looking forward to the week out of town. I do want to take the opportunity. A lot has been going on over the last, I'm going to say 6 weeks in particular. So I do want to recognize tonight Dave Engelhardt, because the percolator is perking, guys. and ladies. It is percolating. With development, things are happening, and I think they're coming at breakneck speed. I'm not going to steal Dave's thunder, but he will get into the highlights of the things that are happening with development. Ivy, things are percolating with her department as well, because we're getting a little, I don't want to say, we're weaning away a little bit from some of the controls that we experienced a year ago. So things have picked up with her. Natalie, hands down with budget. Jimmy Charles, I'm going to tell you all again, that's what he dresses up pretty good, believe it or not. But Jimmy has come in, and I will tell you, been a huge relief for me. So again, I thank Jimmy. Mary's been busy as well, and Kelsey, she's getting ready to get busier than she's been in a long time with renewal, with healthcare. But I think that everyone is well vested and well equipped.
For the record, I have been through it one other time. But it was a weird year.
It was a weird year, that's right. So that concludes my report. And I am very remiss, and I'm sorry, but police chief in the back, hands down, some crazy things, as I call it, are going on in town. And I'll let the chief in his report give a little bit more insight as it relates to some of the things that have been happening, especially with our young groups, as I call it. I think you know what I'm alluding to. And to his staff right now, knock on wood, he is at staff, and that's a good thing as well. So we've got everything in place. Now we've got to go out and execute. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move on to agenda item number 7, department reports. Do we want to take them round robin?
You just go start with Dave.
All right, good.
As Jeff alluded to, we've been busy for a year with reviews and applications, and it's all coming to fruition as I've been warning. Was going to hit this spring. The project over there, it used to be known as Wolf Terrace, is now the Willows at Berlin. That's moving along. If you've gone down Maple Avenue, digging footers for some of the new and pouring footers of the new buildings and remodeling starting on the existing buildings. Another large project that just kicked off last week is at 113 and 115 Flower, the Facet Apartments. If you've been by there today and the end of last week, seen a lot of activity going on. Trucks coming and going, the fencing that's going to keep the office and the supplies secure overnight is going in the parking lot. The demo of the old building that backs up to Henry Park, that should be starting this week, so you'll see a lot of activity there. Be careful going through that intersection. Last week we issued the permits for Phase 2 of Oceans East out on Seahawk Road. So everything's coming to a head at once. Very few directions you can head in town where you're not going to run into, and Arnold is well aware of this, some construction vehicles, dump trucks, heavy deliveries, construction equipment on the roads. We are very close also for permits on North Main Street, Route 818, where we had that Buick annexation 2.5 years ago. Another project starting up there on 818 is another building at Berlin Main Place. So that takes care of the north run of town. I think out on Old Ocean City Boulevard, we just received some plans for the expansion of the parking area at the I.G. Burton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer on the south side of 346 as you're headed east. They had bought the parcel next to them. Now they want to expand that parking lot for more inventory. That's one step for them, and I still anticipate them building the new Chevrolet building across the street this year. So all of that's coming to a head at the same time, and it's made for a crazy last year, but we're getting there.
And Willows is happening, and also 4 single-family dwellings.
Yeah, we've had some
Yep.
single family, and I got a 5th one now. So
5th one now.
all in the last 2 months, 4 or 5 weeks maybe, we've gotten some single family homes at different places in town, filling in some infill lots. so activity's hopping. I think we can anticipate some more tax revenue in the next couple of years coming from all these projects. So I think that's all good news for our growth and our development.
I guess AutoZone too is happening soon?
Yeah, we're trying to nail down that with them on the sewer and water connection. We're almost there with that. That's the last hurdle there, and then they can go to permitting too. So that's another one. Thank you.
Thank you. So, any questions for Dave? All right. Economic and Community Development Director, Ivy Wells.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few things for tonight. I wanted to let you know that the Maryland Main Street grant process has been completed for the most part. We received over $600,000 worth of grant applications, and as you know, we only had $194,113 to be able to give to the businesses of Berlin. We had more than 40 applications, and happy to report that the maximum grant that was given was $6,000 and the minimum was $2,500. The business community was very pleased that they had the opportunity to apply for this grant, so they thank the town for that opportunity. And then I also wanted to, what Dave also wanted, I thought he would bring it up, met with Cody Miller last week about the distillery, the potential distillery that's being constructed right there on Old Ocean City Boulevard next to the Legion. So I met with them last week, Dave met with them today, so we'll keep you posted on any further developments with that project. And then April 17th through 24th is Clean Up Berlin Week for Earth Day. Many people don't realize that we are a Keep America Beautiful affiliate, and we're also registered on the Maryland State Green Registry. And what we're providing, usually Mary Boland, we do a Clean Up Berlin Week or Take Pride in Berlin Week, but obviously because of COVID, that's not happening this year. So what we decided was that people can actually do their own part on their own, and we will provide them with trash bags and gloves at the Welcome Center. Anyone that wants to come by, just send me an email or call me, and I'll make sure that they get trash bags and gloves. And everyone that wants to, last year we received grant funding for free sustainable reusable bags that everyone will get their own handy dandy Berlin bag that they can take with them. And then anyone who posts a selfie of themselves cleaning up or their community, they'll go into a raffle for that bag will be filled with a lot of Berlin goodies. So it gives people an incentive to clean up their the neighborhood.
Ivy, is there like a hashtag or anything to go with that?
Yeah, we just posted the event, and I can't remember exactly what the hashtag is right now. And then, what was it?
I can probably find out real quick.
Yeah, I think it's in the event somewhere. And then also, we're working with Dave Fitzgerald and the fire company for the Delmarva Fire Association Convention. Is coming April 28th to May 3rd. That's going to be happening at the fire company. And reaching out to the community to write thank you letters. I'll just read you what I have here as a poster. Or write a thank you letter to our volunteer firefighters and auxiliary. Letters will be displayed in the Berlin Welcome Center window April 28th through May 3rd. And then a lot of the businesses are also be putting thank you letters in their windows to make everyone coming from Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia feel welcome here in Berlin. And that's my report for tonight.
Just to add, that hashtag is Earth Day in Berlin.
Fair enough. Thank you. Any questions for our Economic and Community Development Director?
Ivy, with the picking up of the bags and things, do they, being that the building is locked, do they message you or call to pick up?
Right. Just send me an email, and I mean, I'm there, so they can come by and I'll get it for them. It's closed to the public, but I'll like what we did with the art projects for the kids. We had them pre-made and we set them out in the lobby, and people just came and picked up packages, and we put people's names on them. So that's how we'll do that.
Thank you, great question.
And then also, what I forgot to add, sorry about that, is once they're finished picking up the trash, I think that they'll leave it at the location, and then I'm gonna work with Jimmy to have the guys come and pick it up, so they don't have to worry, not sure where they're going to put the trash.
So do we, if this is in the neighborhoods and what have you, do we email you with, hey, I cleaned up at 742 Elizabeth Street or whatever it is? And that way you'll know where the bags are located or something, or will you guys?
Exactly. That's great. And you can get the bags and the gloves in advance to help you with this.
Right.
And then just let me know at that time, hey, we're planning on cleaning up this park or this neighborhood.
Got it.
We need this many bags and we need this many gloves. And then I'll provide you with all that you need.
Perfect.
And give us an idea of the date as well. So if somebody's doing a cleanup project, make sure they include the date that they want to try and do the cleanup so we can help coordinate with Public Works then.
Hey, Chief?
Since we have been talking about this consultant for grants, I would like to just touch on that real quick. In FY '21, we have received grants for a live scan palm printer, which we put in the budget 3 years ago, and that actually had to come out. We were awarded that for $18,000. We were awarded $11,500 for a recruitment and retention grant, $80,000 for a NIRS compliance grant, and our thought was we were going to hook into the county system. That's not going to happen, but we're going to be able to spend a chunk of money. We just don't know how much of that $80,000. And we also received $2,800 for reimbursement of half of the bulletproof vest. We purchased at least 6, I believe 7, with the one coming in. The last grant that we put in during that period of time was for ADEs. That is the only grant that we did not get through our whole process. That cost us $400, and we're trying to go ahead and get an ADE for every one of the police cars. So we think that if we were the Tampa Bay Rays, we would love that batting average any day of the week. So.
And that was all in FY '21?
All in 21. In 20, we got the retention grant the first time. It was just retention only. We got $12,000, and that was to support keeping the guys we had. In the recruitment grant, we're paying $1,000 for a sworn person that comes in. For a veteran, $1,000. Someone's bilingual, $1,000. Someone with a college degree, $1,000. We're paying $500 if an officer brings in someone who we successfully hire. And if we have someone certified out of state, $750. We've spent roughly, we will spend at least $8,700 of those funds. And the highest we paid for the consultant is $800 for a grant, and with the smaller grants, $400. So I believe that the town has been very fortunate with that contact, and we really have to give her all the credit in finding probably 60% of the grants. 2 things we asked for her, and then after that we got the phone calls. Chief, you might be able to get this. She supplied Law Fire Department with 2 vehicles for the fire department, and she said, Chief, I think you can go ahead and get 2 police vehicles. So again, I think that's something we can definitely utilize in the future.
So when we say the word best practice, it really is best practice.
I think that we're definitely working on that line in that regard. Juvenile holding, we have to go ahead and do mandate reporting. We also have to do reporting on every one of these grants. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And as Jeff was alluding to, in the last quarter, that means from January to now, we've actually had an influx of juvenile contact. Not all of it criminal activity, but one thing we've seen is a lot of juveniles coming in from other areas into town and being here for longer periods of time. We definitely know with school being out for longer periods of time, that contributes to that. But again, we wish that we didn't have as much. I won't speak to every case, but we've definitely had everything from theft to burglaries and some other things. We had malicious destruction where all the porta potties were turned over, and toilet paper and trees and those sort of things. So we know children will be mischief. So we understand that, but again, we have to, have the guys out and really chasing after them, a little bit more than we've had in the past.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief?
Yes, when you say bilingual, does that include sign language?
It actually is language, and that's what.
I just wanted to make sure. I know that in most cases it does, but I just wanted to make sure for those listening.
And what I'll do is I'll follow up. At the beginning of this calendar, 2021, we ended up having a shortfall. We ended up being 4 short during the pandemic and throughout that process. We've actually ever filled those positions, and we've actually hired in the last 6 months all of those people. So we're relatively young on that part, but the only reason, because we've done some promoting ourselves without the dollars, but again, the officers are actively telling guys what the pluses are for Berlin, how the working relationships are with each other. We've actually gotten a couple of people to come in that we probably never gotten before.
Thank you.
That is my report.
Jimmy?
I'd like to just talk quick about the trash truck again and how about that pump cost us $4,500, but our mechanic, Bob Clark, saved us probably another $3,500 to $4,500 in parts and labor alone too, which is a huge asset of a spender that we kept in-house. The crews were out, they did 2,200 cans, we did the 30 city cans, we had 34 commercial cans that we also pick up throughout the week. The guys really worked hard. One of the things though, I heard that the community likes seeing the guys out in the streets, but my biggest fear was no one got hurt.
Yeah.
That would have cost us more than anything that would have hurt. No one hit, because we had guys walking on the streets, there was cars, some of them were impatient, and that's understandable, but the guys were on the streets, no one fell off the truck. There's things that you also got to think about when you see that other types of activities.
Can I interject on something? I heard this from more than one citizen, and this is more for the public. The fact of the matter was the truck broke on, I believe, Thursday.
The previous Thursday.
Okay? The part was ordered on Thursday, and then we awaited delivery of the part. It arrived on a Thursday, and it was repaired on Friday. So there was no delay. We do care about our employee group. The reality was it broke, it was ordered, we were awaiting delivery, it was expedited delivery, and it was repaired. I call it seamless. And then it was actually exercised on Saturday. The truck was actually out on Saturday.
Part came out of country too, came from Canada.
Yep.
And then we had a bulk pickup on April 21st for our Tuesday and Wednesday days, and then April 28th for our Thursday days. And we can contact downtown to arrange.
Downstairs.
Downstairs to arrange pickup.
There's also a form that they can submit online.
And while we're on the topic of the trash truck, we did receive a loaner from our neighbor in.
No, we did not, Mayor.
We did not.
Oh, we did
I did not
Okay.
inform you of that, but it did not happen.
Well, I thank Mayor Meehan for loaning us a trash truck that apparently we never used.
They were not able to get to us in the end.
Well, it was a nice thank you anyway. So, the other thing is that this afternoon I became aware of a little bit of trash at Stephen Decatur Park. The public works crews were on top of that very quickly, so thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is either we can.
Let's go with Natalie.
or- I missed.
Are you done, Jimmy?
Yes, done, thank you.
Good evening again. I just want to remind utilities funds session, work session, April 26th. So we're going to be working on the drafts for that. You will receive the draft in the email. Please review, ask any questions you might have. And we will meet April the 26th at 5 o'clock here again. Time flies very quickly. We're thinking about next audit already. Probably it's going to be virtual again, so finance department working diligently to scan as much as possible to minimize the paperwork, because we'll have to submit and transmit through the emails and secure job boxes. We will be performing disconnects for the water starting tomorrow and Wednesday. That will be the first disconnect after the winter. Electric is still on hold. So citizens received the notification and letters, and we will see the crew members going around the town. We also work in Melissa, Michelle, Blakely. Thank you very much for the team effort. We're working on the meter replacements. They have generated detailed reports on the meters that are actually not functioning properly. They're submitted paperwork to the water department crew. They're going on the field, replacing the meter, bringing the new paperwork, and we're updating our system. So that's been ongoing for several weeks. Maryland Public Service Commission is regulating our electric fund and requires lots and lots of reports. So I want to thank you, my team members, for compiling the paperwork for that, and we're submitting month-to-month reports on the outstanding accounts, how many accounts. They basically doing like a mini audit for the electric fund. That's all I have.
All right.
The only thing that I have, and this is actually not just Berlin, this is actually a Worcester County thing, is that a reminder that Berlin is hosting the Backyard Buffer giveaway for Worcester County. Deadline is this Friday, and the pickup day is Saturday. There are a few left, but hurry, 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 they're going fast. And they can reach out to me. There's information on our website, Facebook, various places.
Thank you.
Kelsey?
Just an FYI, Mr. Charles and I are meeting tomorrow with a few seasonal, potential seasonal employees, and we're hoping to get someone started probably end of the month, beginning of May. And then open enrollment will be May 18th through May 20th. I have informed all employees, but just mark it on your calendar. Again, due to COVID, we're going to keep it pretty small. We'll only have 6 outside vendors, and they will be spread out through the building so that we can keep some social distancing. As Jeff alluded to, we kind of had a call with Chris Carroll today where we talked rough numbers, but we're going to meet with him on Wednesday. Me and Jeff, and we should have some, hopefully a little bit firmer numbers here by Wednesday. And then I spoke with workers' comp insurance. We do that through Dealey. They're going to get back to me, he said this week, with a more rough number, because right now we estimated a 5% increase, but I'm going to meet with him this week, and we'll hopefully have a firmer number on that too. So just been busy.
Thank you.
And one thing that I don't know whether, with everything that we've talked about, because my head's spinning, Wednesday of this week, I believe I'm right, Wednesday, the walk-up clinic for the COVID-19 vaccine. Again, we had it last Wednesday in Henry Park, and there were approximately 50 folks that received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This coming Wednesday, the day after tomorrow, again, Worcester County Health Department will be back in Henry Park, and also, from what I understand, at Stevenson Church.
That is correct.
Okay.
And you reminded me of Thursday, an individual, James Pisano from CIC Wealth, will be giving a presentation to the town to talk about possibilities for retirement and supplemental plans. So if you guys would like to attend that, that is going to be at 11 a.m. If you could just let me know so we can have a rough head count. Everyone is welcome to attend. So.
Mayor, that's everybody.
All right, agenda item number 8 is comments from the council, and we'll start round robin with Councilmember Neck.
I just want to say happy birthday to Shanika tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Shanika.
So now everyone's going to send you a cake.
I will eat it.
I will help you if you need it.
I will bring some to you.
That's all.
Thank you. And up next for the soon-to-be birthday girl, go ahead.
So a few things. First off, kudos to all of those who play a part in this whole budget process. I know that we're not dealing with that right now at the moment, but you guys, a lot of time and effort, and we appreciate it. We truly do. Also, thank you to, they're not here, to Jamie's team and to Tim's team. Those guys, was it a week ago, Jeff? Maybe a week and a half ago, when there were water issues, would turn into electric issues at Cannery Village, and those guys were there late in the evening on a Friday night. And then I'm not done. And then all day Saturday, and I will tell you, Shanika Nichols, being the person that she is, walked right around that corner to see exactly what they were doing and to talk to them. Because my concern was, with all of this going on, how were the homes in that neighborhood affected? And when they said to me that those homes, regardless of all that time and energy and the backup, that those homes never missed a beat, I was completely impressed. So kudos and my hats go off to those gentlemen for all of that hard work. Thank you for that. And Dave Englehart, man, oh man, if you want to do something great for Shanika Nichols, you can bring me a hard hat tomorrow. Because I am so excited about all of these happenings. Those guys in that Willow construction crew are probably like, who is that stalker? Because I have been by there like 10 times.
Where is the pink hat?
I cannot wait.
I don't know.
You don't
I
have,
can't wait to go over there, because when that construction guy said that I could come and take a tour, he doesn't know that I will be there at least 4 times.
Take them up on it.
So I'm excited
They're
about
friendly.
that.
They don't bite, they're all right.
Well, I'm coming. And I know that the guys back on Maple Avenue are sick to death of looking at me because I show up regularly. I don't talk to them, but I do show up and I keep my eyes open. So
No, it's good.
I'm loving all of the happenings that are going on. That excites me. I mean, Ivy, I was so excited when I saw the whole Cody thing. Love the Manila family. So, yay. And I'll be quiet, but thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you.
of this excitement is exciting.
Councilmember Ward?
Yeah, just real quick, a few things. I didn't get a chance to go over there because I saw it, I came straight here from work, but are there trash bins at Stephen Decatur, or what exactly happened there
We don't
recently?
usually, what, from my understanding is, they would come to town hall and register that they're having an event or a party there, then we would bring trash cans to there. But we don't usually
The pavilion.
have them
Okay,
there we have them out front in the parking lot,
right, but not in the,
but not at the pavilion.
I was just following up. And I know we've been really, everybody's been doing a great job with the budget, but I just want to put back on the radar, back in October, early November, I had mentioned that the town website, I'd like to see term limits for committee members and board members on there. And it seemed to be indicated that it could be done fairly quickly. But I just don't want to get too far off the radar and see if we can revisit that soon. And
Well, there are any number of vacancies and positions expiring and being reappointed. So, at this point, we were waiting until all of that was done.
And Mary and I have been working to build out a way to apply for the boards and commissions, something that you would think would not take very long by the time we go through the revisions and going back and forth with cards. That does take a little bit longer.
and I'm not, I
No,
didn't
but
mean it that way, but I just,
No, but-
It hasn't been forgotten, is what
Well,
I'm saying.
thank you for bringing it back up because I did let that escape my mind, so
well, then you're wrong.
thank you.
And that's, I had some more that I'll talk about in the work session, but I'm fine for now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, up next, agenda item number 9, comments from the mayor. The only thing, I brought the council up to speed with this, and the dispatch did a good job as well. Back in February, I was informed that we were possibly going to lose our Little League program here on the south end of town. And hearing that over a potential loss of, or expiration of the lease between the county and the Lions Club, that's huge. That program has been in our town and a huge asset to the community since the 1960s. So we worked well with the county commissioners and their administrative team, the Berlin Little League, and the Lions Club. And I'm happy to hear that they've reached a 1-year lease agreement to extend that, but we do need to monitor carefully a long-term solution. So you'll notice that in our general fund budget, the town does help provide some assistance for that program in the form of utilities and the cost of those things. So it's been albeit not a town within corporate limits of the town, it is joined at the hip with our municipal government. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of that and that we're watching and advocating for that. So that concludes my comments. Agenda item number 10, do we have any comments from the public? Via
None did
Facebook?
not receive any.
Okay. Agenda item number 11, any comments from the press? Okay, agenda item number 12.
Move to adjourn.
Move to adjourn, and for everybody watching at home, we'll go back in about 5 minutes into our work session, picking up with the police department. Thank you. I guess I didn't pull a vote, but all in favor?
Aye.
I think that's unanimous.
And I'm going to give you all something that spells out a couple things.